and he mixes up his serve so well. Consistent ball toss on the serve, and he can serve each corner into the body. He mixes it up great, and he's got great volleys, the best in the game, no doubt about that.
Important, Annabelle, for Rafter to serve well, get to the Sampras backhand.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's one weakness in Sampras's game, it would be that backhand side, and he's got to try and exploit it. And he's got that great kicker serve out to the backhand, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing that an awful lot today. But those first volleys of his are superb. As Neil said, probably the best volleyer in the game.
So that's Pat Rafter. What of Sampras? Neil, serve, obviously, is the major factor. Seems to be able to call on it like a 9-11 Goran when he needs it.
In the previous round against Yuzhny, he served 75% first serves, and if he can repeat that, you can't beat the guy. The guy's serve is phenomenally good, and what gets me about it is his second serve is, I think, the best in the game. And I've always said your serve is only as good as your second serve. And if he can serve like he did in the previous round, Rafter's going to have a tough time breaking him.
Not as good a volleyer as Rafter, would you say?
I would say definitely not as good a volleyer, but not too shabby. The guy can volley.
Yeah, not too shabby indeed. Good words. Reads it well. I mean, we don't really talk about Sampras very much as an athlete, but he is a superb athlete.
He's a great athlete. The guy's got all-round ability. He's a great jumper, great mover around the court. People, he's quite a big guy. He's quite a strong guy, and people forget that. And very good athlete, without a doubt.
Annabelle, who's the better hard court player?
Wow, what a question. Well, I think Sampras is number 2 overall, isn't he, in hard court titles?
Yeah.
So I guess on that record,
35.
You'd have to go with that. Agassi holds the all-time hard court record, but yeah, on that record, I'd have to go with Sampras, I think.
Well, it's Rafter's best surface, I feel, and Sampras probably second best. I think his best surface was definitely grass.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, hard court's not too far behind. He has won a lot of titles on the hard court.
Yeah. Pick a winner.
Who's your winner, Chris?
I'm going to go for Sampras. I've said it right from the beginning of our coverage of the US Open that I think he's still got it. He says that he still hasn't got the aura anymore, and he's aware of that. But I think Sampras is here to play, and I think that match against Yuzhny, when he upped the level, I thought was quite superb. Annabelle?
Well, I want Rafter to win, but I think Sampras might.
Okay. So you're going for Sampras, are you?
So you're changing your mind all of a sudden now?
No, I'm not picking him for the title.
Okay.
But you're going Sampras. Just want to nail this one down before we cross.
Yeah, and then I'm going for Agassi to come through the next one.
Okay, because Agassi awaits the winner of this one. Neil?
Well, I'd really love Patrick Rafter to win.
I don't care who you want to win. I want to know who's going to win.
Well, that's the reason I'm going to go for Patrick Rafter.
You are?
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. Right, 2 Samprases, 1 Rafter. Commentary team on site for the match of the day. It has to be said, we're thoroughly looking forward to this one, and I'm sure our comms are as well. Bill Threlfall and Jerry Williams.
Oh, yes. I mean, if you can't get excited about watching a match like this, it's time to pack up and go. I just felt, I don't know about you, Bill, that Agassi was almost saying to the continent of Europe, this is our backyard, not yours, clear off, out of here. And that Sampras will be saying to the Antipodes much about the same thing. At least I think that's his intention. This is their place. Why should they concede?
Agassi just might also have been saying, those two guys, and I'm going to have to play one of them, will be watching this down in the locker room to see how we're getting on. I'm going to show them something. I'm going to start scaring them right now. And he certainly did.
Well, Rafter, as you'd expect of an Australian, his face smeared with sunblock. They're very conscious of that down there because the sun causes an awful lot of skin cancer. Sampras, the Americans are less concerned, probably because medically it's not such a threat here. I agree with what Chris Bailey said about the way Sampras suddenly raised his tempo when he played Mikhail Yuzhny, the young Russian. I mean, everybody who saw that here, whose opinions I respect, said that really was almost a message from Sampras to say, listen, I'm still here.
Absolutely, all three. I mean, neither of these two guys, George Diaz, very good umpire, very experienced, comes from Portugal. Very nice man into the bargain. Sometimes too nice, I think.
Their record on hard courts this year, their win-loss record on hard courts. Let's take the top players, their records on hard court. This year, Agassi leads the list. He's won 33 matches on hard courts. That's his service. He's lost 5. Rafter comes second. See, it's interesting that. 33-7. And Sampras isn't on that list. Next is Gamble, then Hewitt, and then Haas.
1 minute, gentlemen.
I'm just contemplating what's going to be really important in this match. It may be fairly obvious to say it. Obviously, service is going to be vitally important, and these two fellows have magnificent serve, particularly this one. You can't read him. Has the same toss for fast down the middle or sliced away. And Rafter has...
Start. Sampras serves.
Sensibly wearing a white top. He's been wearing black all this tournament, and that retains the heat more than the white, which bounces off it more.
It's pretty obvious that Sampras is going to come in and serve and volley. That's the indication at the start.
Yes, I think Sampras is going to come in almost inevitably on his first serve, but perhaps not always on his second. Rafter, I think, on both.
He's in on both, and that time it didn't pay off, certainly, but that would discourage him. We shall see.
30 on.
Break point straight away. Effortless.
It's most lovely rhythm, isn't it? He's already served a successful serve at 122 and a near miss at 130.
Advantage Sampras.
Mostly his target seems to be Rafter's backhand. Changed direction that time. He held his serve, but had to fight off a break point straight away.
Yeah, interesting start. This is going to be a battle of the minds as well as a battle of the skills, that's for sure. Obviously, they played each other enough times to know very much what the other likes doing, and so they'll try and avoid that.
An endangered species, the serve and volleys of the world. There aren't many around. These are two of the best, the very best. He wasn't far out with that.
Fantastic half volley pick up by Rafter.
30 love.
Damage limitation shot. And there, the big stretch. So close.
Oh, yes.
Well, Sampras is hot from the beginning. This is a brilliant shot. A lot of wrist going into it, coming up, over and round the ball.
And certainly at the start, they're both coming in on everything, first and second serves. Rafter held his serve, his opening serve, with rather less difficulty than Sampras held his, because Sampras, don't forget, had a break point to fight off.
My first impression, Jerry, is that there are no nerves out there. These are two seasoned campaigners, 30 years old, just. Rafter, 28. Huge success behind them, and they're both very hot right from the start. Bridget.
Right at the start here, Sampras' first serve percentage is the poorer of the two. Only 45%. Oh, that's a juicy one for us so early on.
Well, the skills on show are amazing right away. Lovely soft hands for the cross-court volley there. Look, he's right down, living with the ball.
Yeah, it's much better service game by Sampras. That'll make him feel a little bit more comfortable. He leads 2-1 at the start. Never seem to take it. So I suppose it's a question of what your choice is, what you favour. You just wonder, Bill, how many more years these two will play each other, if again.
Well, I wish they could go on forever. I don't want to see either retire. I'm not going to bet on either man. I've never bet against Sampras on any surface. Rafter's just about my favourite player.
Well, Rafter says almost definitely he's taking a sabbatical at the end of the year. He hopes to lead the Australians to triumph in the Davis Cup. He wants to do well in the Masters in the Olympic Stadium, indoor stadium in Sydney at the end of the year.
He puts an awful lot of effort into this serve. It's not just all smooth rhythm like Sampras. It's physical.
15 all.
See the ball bending in the air there from right to left as you look at it.
Trapped Sampras there, foxed him with the body serve.
Well, it's this huge swerve he gets on the serves, Rafter, that makes returning it so difficult.
And the kick, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Well, suddenly he's got a kink in his serve. That's 2 double faults in this game. Ooh.
Staggering return of serve. I just felt that Sampras was going to gamble a little bit here and really go for it.
Oh dear, that really was a calamitous service game from Rafter, whose opening service game had seemed so businesslike. 3 games to 1, Sampras. First set.
Well, I reckon he just took too long a swing. That was a basic put-away volley for Rafter. Absolutely no problem for a man of his skills around the net. But it was the tenseness of the situation, the first tense moment that got to him then. The sun is just about in the worst possible position for these fellows serving. And that puts a bit of a premium on getting a first serve in. So that if you are dazzling yourself, you only do it once. They adjust the toss, though. They cope.
Giving Rafter's back and return a bit of a going over here. Oof. Oh, that's out. Almost didn't play that in the middle of the point.
Well, talk about steering for the sound of the guns. Rafter just coming in on a total bluff, really. Didn't do anything to justify going to the net, except to put the frighteners on the other fella. And it worked.
Just to change the direction, 40-50, he can shift to the forehand. It's a very brisk start indeed by Sampras. This, he's got a lead of 4-1 first set.
Looking for him, and there he is, somewhere down amongst the also-rans, you know. It's absolutely a perfect final this would be, and has been in the past, of course.
Now, Rafter's only one breakdown.
15 love.
Yeah, you say only, Jerry, but look who he's playing. Another one of those perfect returns. He's obviously very confident, Sampras. He's in the zone straight away.
Well, that was terrific length on that second serve from Rafter. I mean, I think it just about clipped the outside edge of the line. So it was bold. Possibly a bit fortunate as well.
Sampras already has played a few of these backhand screamers down the line. And I always look on that as being one of two shots that is a sort of barometer of his confidence and his form. The other one being the slice serve from the right court.
Oh, what an athlete. Benny Roach on the right, quick shot of him.
What a magnificent shot.
43.
Round arm smash from behind him, falling the wrong way. Unbelievable shot.
Game,
4-2 Sampras first set. You know, if you and I try to make a note now, the number of players in this draw who would be coming in on every single serve, you couldn't come up with more than about 6 names, could you?
In the whole draw, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if that.
Serve and volley on everything.
If that. Well, frankly, I can't think of any on a hard court, maybe on grass. But then you get the Kafelnikovs and what have you, who don't even do it on grass.
He might just be playing Rafter's backhand in some sort of form.
Yeah, that was a good little point, wasn't it? That was a difficult shot, the half volley, to make it dangerous for Rafter, but that's a sensationally good. Great style. Look at the drive through the ball there.
I just think it's just about unreturnable. That.
That's the shot for me. That serve, along with the backhand like a bullet down the line.
Juice.
Checks. And hits too long.
About the sampras.
Rafter even now perspiring freely. He had so much trouble with that, particularly at the Australian Open at the start of the year.
Yeah, I think you could say it lost him the match.
Oh, well, whether it was the perspiration or not, I don't know. Certainly the cramp. I mean,
Allied to the cramps,
yeah.
yeah.
Sampras cruising pretty well. This is a bit of Rolls Royce from Sampras today already. 5 games to 2 he leads, first set.
Sampras leads by 5 games to 2.
New balls, 2-5.
Service levels dropped.
About 15.
Well, they cost him dearly, these double faults.
He's got to serve big, though. There's no point in messing around with Sampras in this form. He's going to slam it back at you. So, in particular, his second serve has got to be good and deep and fast enough. That's accounted for 3 double faults.
Net first serve.
And he's rushed a couple of volleys, not dissimilar to that one.
I'm really surprised at that one. It's his movement there that was wrong. You know, he more or less converged straight on the ball instead of going off diagonally a bit and making room for the shot.
Oh yes, that was easy for Sampras. He'd just take his time there. Two set points. Oh yes, that was one of the best points they've played.
What a couple of magnificent volleys on the run, both of them.
Well, I think most of the players these days think that there is a vulnerability in Sampras's backhand return serve, particularly if you can make it bounce up high. That was an example of that. Another set point, Sampras.
Well, that was a question of Rafter reading the Sampras mind, really, and using the experience, because he stayed where he was. Absolutely brilliant first volley. Couldn't make the second.
Back and return again, you see. So was that. That one was in. That was much better. You can overdo it.
That was a form of off backhand going away from his body. What a wonderful feeling for Rafter here, doing exactly what he intended. Plumb on the backhand and then up for the soft volley with soft hands.
That fell in.
Well, the wind on the roof blows, as you look at the picture, from Rafter to Sampras, and I guess that held it up, if the wind is the same down on court.
Oh, well, I think he used the whole of the frame of the racket to get that across and get a winner.
Yes, I think he did use quite a lot of the frame there, but it's a shot he often plays, and therefore he deserves to win it. It's a terribly difficult shot. A load of wrist goes into it. Watch his wrist. Coming up, round, over the ball. So he intended the shot, but a shade lucky.
Well, since he's been really up against it in this on this service game here, Rafter, he's kept nagging away. They've been going 32 minutes. It seems to have gone in a flash to me. Yeah, completely changed the point of attack. Big, heavy slice serve there. That Fox Sampras.
Very brave serve, considering that's where he served when Sampras broke him by slamming that return cross court.
That's 4 double faults from Rafter. Apart from his opening service game, he hasn't really had a good rhythm on his serve.
Don't think I've ever considered Rafter to have a very rhythmic serve. It's a very, very effective serve. Dangerous. But it's a very physical serve. He puts everything into it.
Sampras has yet another set point. His first ace.
And great thinking to put it there.
Yeah, played that very coolly. Sampras seemed to me tried a different sort of return, just sort of moved in early, took it high on the bounce and just chipped it back.
He didn't continue to the net, Sampras. He was stuttering around there in the middle of the court, wondering whether to go forward, I think.
I love to hear him say it. Most of all, I love it in the cathedral still at Wimbledon on the centre court.
And Rios the other end. Worst possible position to be receiving the ball.
Well, Sampras had him on the rack here for what seems an age. Say that Rafter is very astutely shifting the point of direction of his serve, isn't he? I mean, he's mainly gone for Sampras, it seems to me, on the backhand return, which I think the players now think is more suspect than it's ever been, but every now and again he swings it across the forehand. And there again. And that was the second ace, and he came out of that examination wonderfully well, really. It was a real case of come on as he come on.
Yeah, well, I think he survived 5 set points there. And quite a few game points on his own serve before he clinched it. Tough game. Never seen this court so packed. Certainly not this week or last week.
Yeah, that game lasted over 11 minutes.
Effortless serve this appears to be. His fastest has been 131 mph. We're after 111.
30 left.
Rafter dissipates the speed of his serve by all the work he puts on it.
Yeah, he's been more flowing of the two just since that very first, I thought, that very first service game by Rafter. Since then, Rafter's game has been uneven. For all its defiance, particularly in that last long game there. Another string of set points.
And it takes enormous skill to deliver the ball back to the server who's coming in right at his feet. But they're both doing it.
Yes, he finally puts him away, at least at the end of that set. And Sampras takes the set by 6 games to 3. It took 39 minutes, and it was fascinating to watch.